briefly on Fortnite Follies, the V2 saga. I know anything can still happen, but I'm once again feeling optimistic. Oh, it's this track again. Very well, let's see if I remember the timing I nailed. Be fine with this strategy, right? Ouch, I hit the roof. Oh well, I got 5th. I made up for some of my worst races. Attaching the M2 strike bar to it. Speaking of placing the minimum I needed to raise the ranking, I just got 9th place. So, the ranking should go up by a certain percentage. So it shouldn't matter too much, especially with my endgame plan to turn the tables at such a crucial moment. 5th place. This is what a genius plan can do for you. Pull you from 9th place to 5th place in just a few seconds. Okay, since I'm done, would the next battle droid please drive 4th? The only reason I joined you is because you want to do something nice for Jester, and because I was ordered by Carnage to be a soldier. He no longer treats me with the adoration Dora and her successors get so easily. I want to gain some respect back, and by helping out with this, hopefully he can realize that while my tone is slightly harsher, my loyalties are to him alone. Come on, come on. I have to make up for a ton of lost ground. Ard. What was I to do? Prior knowledge of the track doesn't equal experience. I'm sorry. Full of these idiotic barriers, with tricky placement designed to slow down anyone who hasn't raced on this track before. Guess where I fall in that equation? It's nothing short of a miracle that my fuse hasn't blown out. No offense, but I think Kata Tech models are built a little better than a Jester engineering model. Now watch me finally blow my fuse, or maybe 2 or 3, after I get through saying that. Wait, how old is she? If she's particularly old, that would mean, unless her circuits were upgraded, she could only be compatible with weaker fuses. Anyway, I placed 9th, so yay. Well, in my defense, I only just started racing, so you can't expect me to place very high on my first few races. Give me some time to practice and improve, and I may just impress you. I just now lost 2 places, but I'm close enough that I can regain said places with little effort. And I did, finishing in 4th place via cleverly stored boosts. So, let's see how much of a boost that was. Ooh, a 10% increase. Very nice. Okay, now we're making progress. Alright, next race. Even when you air dodge onto a sideways or upside down track, the vehicles stick to the surface flawlessly, and still run at blazing speeds. Here we go. V3, look at this. I got a bronze medal. The percentage should go up pretty high, too. I wasn't programmed for racing like this. I only agreed to do this because I wanted to redeem myself to Jester. Oh wait, what? My cameras say I got 3rd place. My CPU has to be malfunctioning. There's no way, with me overheating, that I placed this high. I need to cool down, and an urgent diagnosis from Kata Tech. So, let me get this straight. Our oldest predecessor malfunctioned yesterday, so you recruited more of us? What type of high-risk strategy are you employing that even caused the malfunction to begin with? We Kata Tech destroyers are state-of-the-art, with some of the best and most modern circuitry Kata Tech could afford. Guess I'll be figuring this question out the hard way. So the track name is Airborne. Opening track file. Oh, this shouldn't be too hard. My chances of victory depends heavily on the skill of my opponents, because the track data is thoroughly researched at this point. So I shouldn't lose based on alien track data. Like I said before, my chances of victory depends heavily, almost solely, upon the skill of my opponents. A much more minor factor is if any major mistakes cost me enough places long enough to make me lose that way. However, unless I go overboard, I shouldn't make such mistakes. Taking the upper road with the boost pads. I am maintaining 6th place at the lowest. This is why I'm confident about my chances. Now heading through the tunnel. This could be a potential problem area, but I'll try not to drift that much. Tunnel successfully navigated with no mishaps. Now rounding one of the 2 final bends. The finish line is in sight, boosting ahead. I'm now on my 2nd lap, and I'm in 2nd place. No mishaps, major or minor, have happened thus far. Now, arguably, I've made a minor mistake. However, if I continue to race as strategically as I have so far, I'll regain the places I've lost as a result. I technically already have. I was back in second place for a while, then slid back into third place. However, I briefly proved my point. Heading through the tunnel again. I'm pretty close to the finish line again. Just an elevated road and a couple of turns remain between me and the finish line. The finish line is now in sight, and I'm in second place again. It looks like, if my consistency keeps up, I'll finish the race in second place, earning us a significant boost to our rank percentage. And let me assure you, if I don't get second place again, it won't be from lack of effort. I see the elevated road with the boost pads up ahead. Activating thrusters to fly to the road in question. Landed perfectly. Now utilizing the boost pads. I have once again made it within sight distance of the tunnel. Heading through the tunnel, drifting as little as possible. Now flying to the final elevated road. I'm still doing really well. Just 2 more turns, and then the win is mine. The finish line is in sight. I'm on the home stretch. See what I was saying, V3. And now my victory is twofold. Now, alongside placing third, I've also logged my performance and track data as the most recent. Oh, I think I see the reason why you recruited more of us, unlike V1D2. I'm also starting to realize what exactly caused V1D1 to malfunction. It's because of how many races she entered before getting a break. Not to worry, however. The malfunction wasn't actually major. The diagnosis on her systems are complete, and her CPU isn't even damaged. It was merely overwhelmed, and slightly overheated. Anyway, now it's my turn. Apparently, my course is Festive Falls. Loading track data. Ah, so it's this track. Very well. Initial analysis completed, preparing to race. I will try to place as high as possible, by any means necessary. Going through the waterfall shortcut should increase my chances some, as long as I time it well, and don't mess up. This includes randomly flipping and destroying the GPV. For context, as you wouldn't know otherwise, that means Galactic Patrol Vehicle. Yes, we're borrowing vehicles from the Galaxy Corps to race along the track. The main reason he trusts us is because he knows that even when the vehicle is destroyed, there's a way to return it to pristine condition. And that happens almost instantly upon destruction in this universe. On the island, you do have to put more effort into it, as you have to search out a particular vehicle, called a whiplash. Once you enter said whiplash, it immediately transforms into a GPV, or whatever custom-made car you've got active in your garage. We have multiple, including, and I kid you not, a red ambulance. And not your traditional ambulance, either. I'm talking about an M4 Indian Red, driven by some Phase 27 Marine Corps field medics, or corpsmen, as Aurora calls them. Now going through the final tunnel for the second time. I seem to be hanging on to 5th place rather firmly. That shouldn't be too bad, should it? I'll try to place higher if I can, but I won't fret too much if I couldn't place much, if any, higher than this. Now I'm going through the waterfall tunnel again. I've made it to 4th place at this point, but I'll acknowledge that the race isn't over yet. Most of what caused V1D1 CPU stress is having never raced on these tracks before, and thus having to analyze and race at the same time. Given that we were programmed to be soldiers, this was uncharted territory for her, and her CPU nearly crashed in her last race. Fortunately for me, however, our experience was shared, and I got 5th place. Yay, shared network for the win. Alright, time for the next race. Let's see what track I've got this time, assuming the track name actually shows up. Dust up. Okay, this could be hard. Pulling up track data. Initial analysis complete, preparing to race. In 3, 2, 1, go. 32% boost. Not bad. Could be worse. For sure. Now, as long as I make as few mistakes as possible, and not have any CPU problems, I should be fine. I'm already up to 5th place. I'm well aware that anything at all could still happen. But that can go either way. Miraculous, or disastrous alike. It just depends on the outcome. But I shouldn't lose due to lack of data, as both Dora and V1D1 were watching V4A1 racing on it. That, and several Tsuki 2.0s raced on it, as well. I honestly have no excuse for freezing up. Okay, so I dropped to 7th place, but I won't let that faze me. As Dora and V1D1 also learned, we need a minimum of 3 places above last to still get progress on the rankings. And I dare say I'll not only meet that minimum, but exceed it by at least 2 to 4 places. As I said before, I have analyzed track data for this track, even having to sift through hundreds of other files just to get to Atsuki 2.0's analysis. I'm sorry, but simply watching a screen while another droid runs the race diminishes some of the learning process. It truly takes a first-person perspective to truly understand how everything works. Now I'm in 6th place on the second lap. I seem to be hovering around in the top 6. I accept this performance. I stand corrected. Top 8. Now I'm a little concerned, but not so much that my systems are stressed and overheating. Yet. I have dropped yet again, this time to what I hope is the minimum I need to get the ranking percentage up. That is to say, 9th place. However, this is only the second lap. I could still pull ahead. I'm now back at the canyon close to the finish line. I'm going to try out V4A1's trick to see if it works for me. Not quite. It didn't make a big difference either way, actually. Very well, won't make that mistake again. Now I'm on my final lap and maintaining 8th place. Here's another strategy I've heard being suggested, and that's saving the 3 boosts for the most crucial moments in the race. The moment on the home stretch. And now that the exact location of the home stretch has been pinpointed, I can better plan my boosts for the final canyon in particular. I hit one of those stupid red mounds just now. I need to make up for this in any way I can. Jump the ramp here to get to the next checkpoint. Now heading through the checkpoint, and rounding the bend just past it. I'm getting too far behind, I need to boost here. Alright, that got me up to 6th place. Not an amazing rise, but I can't really do much about that. Okay, there's the final canyon. It's now or never. Boost. I'm in 1st place right now. Please don't screw up. Come on, come on. Okay, I'll accept 2nd place. You seeing this, V3? I just came out of a bad situation, and almost placed 1st. So, I'm the last destroyer racing? Okay. Then I will do my best. Waiting for more racers. This track looks slightly familiar, but I don't know which exactly it is yet. It's certainly one of the desert tracks. I know that for a fact. It sure is taking a long time for the final racer to show up. If they're not here soon, the race will start without them. So whoever they are, they'd better hurry. Wait, Curvy Canyon. But, none of Task Force Romeo has raced on this track yet. I don't know what to look for. Oh no. Okay, this is only my 1st race. Just don't overwhelm your CPU. And maybe you'll still get a decent placement. Focus. Okay, I got a 40% boost, and I'm in 5th place. Correction, 6th place. At least I'm not doing terrible. You at least have to hand me that. As long as I don't place 9th or below, I should be fine, right? Well, as long as none of the racers leave, that is. Okay, focus. I just got back up to 8th place, back into the safe zone. I need to either maintain 8th place, or gain places instead of losing them. Easier said than done on a completely new track, however. The reason being, I don't know what to expect at every turn. There's a stone arch up ahead. It may be a great idea to analyze each landmark on Curvy Canyon for future reference. Possibly a U-turn sign up ahead as well. So, through a stone arch, and round the following U-turn. Then what? Wait, is that the finish line up ahead? Sure enough. We just made it onto the 2nd lap, and I'm in 7th place. All things considered, I'm in the safety zone, but I can't get complacent here. Let's continue to analyze the track. So we went down the dip, optimally hitting a speed booster, then round a right U-turn, and shortly after take a left. After the left U-turn, go straight briefly, then turn right. After the right U-turn, you'll drive under a future part of the track, more specifically, the turn just before the final arch, and turn left again. After that, you drop down, then turn right. After yet another right U-turn, you come to a straight part of the track with more speed boosters preceding yet another right turn. This right turn leads to the final stone arch, which means I'm on the home stretch, and, ironically, the first part of the track that I analyzed. Okay, I think I've got it. Now I just need to execute our secret weapon strategy on the final lap, and get as high a placement as possible so as to raise the rankings significantly. Lap 3, 7th place. This is the last lap, the one where it all counts, where the secret weapon strategy will be at its most effective and important. So, to recap, this is the left U-turn, which leads to a short and straight track and a right U-turn. Then after the right U-turn, we race below the track that leads to the final arch and turn left. After that left turn, you drop and head right again, straight up to the final arch, though not before hitting a straight track with speed boosters on. I think I should start hitting the nitro right now. I won't get very many chances afterwards. Uh-oh. Okay, this is bad. The nitro didn't gain me very many places at all. Moreover, I believe I started boosting too soon. I'm sorry, V3. I'm only going to be able to place the bare minimum I can in order to keep the ranking going up. Please don't pass me. Yup, there it is. 8th place. The 3 above last place safe zone start. Alright, let's see if I'm right. Yes, I was. Are you sure you want a droid that specializes in espionage to be in a racing task force? I mean, I'm flattered you thought of me, but don't you think it's a little silly to think that I would place very high in my first ever race? I hope you know what you're doing. Oh boy, it's Cliff Runner. V1D1 got overwhelmed by this track. V3, what have you signed me up for? Okay, I at least got a 43% boost. Maybe that's a good omen? Okay, so run along this sideways track, right? Or do I take the inside? I don't know. This track is not in the Y Labs servers because you hadn't had us race before. What am I supposed to do here? I mean, look at this. Merely 48 seconds in, and I'm already floundering about. I only just reached 5th place. Hopefully, this means I'll place high enough that the ranking percentage still goes up. Let's just hope I don't crash in the process, either my car, or my systems. Okay, so here's the tunnel. The physics of this reality are kind of strange. You're able to safely drive upside down without fear of falling onto the ground roof first, or passing out due to the blood rushing to your head. For us droids, the latter was never an issue, though I'm sure landing roof first on the pavement would be bad for your vehicle. It's a fascinating mystery, how these vehicles are able to stick to walls and ceilings without falling off or rolling over. They don't have this ability on the island, so Jester and friends are about to have to coin a new term for the physics of this reality. Rocket racing physics. Has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? I just got the quest done to travel total distance while turboing in a drift, or in the air. I guess if worst comes to worst, I did get a quest done, right? Oh no, I flipped my car. Phew, that could have ended so much worse. Hitting the boost pad so as to try to keep up with the rest. I'm down to 7th place. Like I said before, this is only my first race, so you really should have expected this. I'm not a natural racer like you and V2 are. I gave you fair warning when you approached me to recruit me into the task force. If I disappoint you, it's your fault. Now I'm on my final lap, and in 8th place. I keep hearing that I need to place 3 above last in order to raise the ranking. Hopefully, I can do so, and make you proud. But don't get your hopes up too high. Like I keep reminding you, this is only my first race, and a seemingly difficult track was chosen for my starter track. I think we both know where I'm going with this, but if you need me to spell it out, don't expect a particularly high placement, as I won't be able to do so unless nothing short of a miracle occurs. Okay, now I'm on another sideways road, heading for the speed boost to increase my chances of high placement. And now we're going through the tunnel again. I keep forgetting what all is next after the tunnel, so I don't know whether I'm on the home stretch or not. Once I see the final upside down road, that would be my sign for the home stretch. And I got 9th place. That is most certainly not 3 places above last, is it? Guess I might as well resign now. Well, this looks daunting. Why did I get such a scary looking track for my 4th race? I don't expect to do well V3. But, on my honor as a WA Labs commando unit, I'll do my best. Just got to wait for more races, or for the announcer to decide that this is all we're getting, and starts the race anyway. Okay, the final countdown has begun, and the track's name has been revealed as Sidewinder. I don't know the significance of that name yet, but I'm sure I'm about to find out. And 2, 1, launch, 98% boost. Whoa, this is one of the greatest boosts I've gotten. Oh my, I'm going to need every percent I got, because those evil red barriers are everywhere. Ah, now I see why it's called Sidewinder. There's a viper's skull embedded in the mountain above the mouth of the tunnel I just went through. This time, the edges of the track are glowing the same red hue as those barriers, so now, these, will slow you down too. Brilliant. Was I doing too well or something? Because there's no other reason I can think of that they'd up the difficulty this much, otherwise. Yeesh. Also, it may be a great idea to declassify those races soon so that the audience can get the context of what we're discussing right now. Because as it stands right now, they are only seeing my 4th due to it being the first significant race in a while. As expected, I'm in 7th place, which isn't too bad, considering this is still the threshold for the safe zone, which would still increase the percentage of the rank ever so slightly. But, I'm not just going to say I'll stay comfortably in 7th place if I can help it. I will strive for better placement so as to raise the percentage that much more. There's the finish line, and I've made it up to 4th place. Is that it? Is this track seriously all bark and no bite? Ha. If I can get 4th on a track as scary looking as this, then I can do anything. Okay, so far so good. Whoa whoa whoa. What just happened? That literally threw me for a loop. Whoa, that was so not good for my CPU. Let's try and make this up, shall we? Alright, I'm still in the safe zone. I can still do this, regardless of if I stay here, or make up the places I lost due to that disorienting mistake. Or, I could completely blow it by making yet another, worse mistake. Goodness, that was almost horrible. Why is it so easy to get turned around in this tunnel? Now I'm about to race in between possibly the largest ribcage I've ever seen. What type of snake died here? Or if it's not a real fossil, how long did it take to mold these bones? Because they look convincing. Ugh, I got turned around again. Ugh, I have some serious ground to make up. It's nothing short of a miracle that literally 3 races are doing worse than me. Are they stuck at the starting line, or are they struggling a lot worse than I am? I guess I'll soon find out. Meanwhile, I'm so far behind the 6 active races ahead of me that I can't even see them. So am I really doing well, or are the 3 last place races just doing terrible? I actually can't tell. I'm going to go with maybe the latter. Final lap, 7th place. I passed by one of the last place races, so that means the other 2 are struggling worse than I am. That also means that, unless I get my act together, they will be able to pass me, rendering my place in this task force in jeopardy. Oh no, here's that blasted tunnel again. Why does this insidious structure exist? It's so easy to get turned around in if you have enough momentum. Oh, wait, okay, that's a little more painless than I remembered from lap 2. What did I do differently, then? What caused that spin out? It doesn't matter now. All that matters is the race itself, so focus. Alright, I'm starting to get back into the groove with those tunnels again. Although, it's too little too late. The damage is already done. Now, I just have to pick up the pieces, and salvage as good of a placement as I can. That's all I can do now. Is this the home stretch? Is it even worth using the nitro at this point? I think not, but at least I still managed to place 7th. That was the minimum I needed to get the rank percentage up. Right, Let's see. Oh wait, no. The 10th racer left. Oh, this is bad. Because of them, that's now 2 strikes. Hopefully, this means my next race will be a win.